GHM Academy Webinar Series. Webinar 2. Learn about how to use GHM Creator, creating a front page for your lesson, creating a page for your lesson, adding videos, images, etc., adding links to your pages, using HTML editor, new functionalities on GHM Bookstore.
Welcome to our GHM webinar. This is our second GHM webinar, and we are looking forward to spending it with you. This session is on the third component of our 3-in-1 LMS management system, or LMS. This third component is GHM Creator. So the first component is GHM Bookstore, where we have all the lessons stored. The second is GHM Classroom, which is where you can put all the students in your class and manage them. And the third is GHM Creator, which is what we're going to be covering today. So GHM Classroom was covered in the previous webinar, and so if you ever need to refer to it, you can go back to that recording. And today we cover GHM Creator. So GHM Creator is the module that allows users to create their own lessons. So you can create your own lessons from scratch, which we will show you today as well. Or you can actually use existing pages where you can build your own lessons and use them as a base for the lesson that you wish to create, and therefore modify it and make it your own. So today, now we will start with Martin. He is again our CEO, and he will help explain GHM Creator to us all. Go ahead, Martin.
Hi, everybody. So today like Monica said, we're going to go over GHM Creator and how it works. So the fundamentals of Creator is the fact that what you're doing on our LMS is creating a book, but basically it's a digital book. So you need to have a cover. So I'm going to show you how to create your own cover. And also this book needs to be easily accessible. So you want to create basically an image in there so people will recognize it when you're going to be sharing this with your students. You'll also want to have a description in there. So that way, if anybody wants to look or search for it in the people that you're sharing your lessons with, that way they'll be able to find it a lot easier and faster. So let's start, and I'm going to share my screen with you so that you're able to see it right away. And so let me start this right now. So we have to remember that GHM Academy has three components. One is GHM Classroom, the other one is GHM Bookstore, and this one that we're going to be talking about is GHM Creator. So a quick recap: Classroom is where you share all the documents or lessons that you've created with your students or in your classroom. So that's where you do that. GHM Bookstore is where you can find other things that have been created, you can search for them, and then share those ones in your classroom with your students. Now, Creator is the place where you're going to create your documents. So let's start taking a look at how we create a document. So I am logged in as a teacher, and what I want to do is press the button Creator that we can see right here. You have Bookstore, you have Classroom, and you have Creator. By pressing on Creator, I become into the mode of creating things in GHM Academy. So as I said before, we want to create, the first thing is our cover. Our cover is like what we see here. We see like the verbe avoir, and we have here the little big lessons. This is our cover that we want to add so that people can recognize what that lesson looks like by using an image. So I will start doing that. The first thing we need is a title, of course. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to do one about the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. So I'm going to put in the title, the Battle of the Plains of Abraham, and when it was fought, 1759. And then we're going to need some images. So the cover, right? So where do we get that? I'm going to get that basically from a website here, and I'm just going to borrow it because since I'm using this for educational purposes and I'm not charging anyone, of course, I'm permitted to do this. And the Canadian Encyclopedia are very nice when it comes to copyrights, but you can notice that they do have a copyright on this one, but we're just using it for the purpose of demonstrating today. So I'm going to copy the link address because I'm actually not copying the image. I'm just copying the link, and I'm going to put it right here in my image. Now, I wanted to show you this example here because you notice here, you said cannot load image preview. So this is a great example of why it doesn't work. So it says, no, this is not going to work. So it's not going to appear as a cover. I'm going to go and get another one that will work. okay? Just so you can understand, and I'll get another link. This is a different image that I did do, and this image works. So it's important that you would see your image here. As soon as you see the image here, you know you have a cover and it's working. Now I'm going to type in the description. I'm going to do this really fast. I'm just borrowing it from another lesson that we've created. And boom, this is my description. That was quickly typed in there. The reason why the description is important, like I said before, is that the search engine will look for the description in the lesson. So if you're sharing this with students and you have several lessons, you may want to have a description, especially if you're asking them to search all the different lessons you have that you're sharing with them. Then you've actually created right here your cover. This is the cover of the book. You're done. But now you have a choice. What priority would you want to give this lesson? Is it a lesson that you want to appear first in all the lessons that you're creating, second, third, fourth, or fifth? You can just use a number, you can use a code, you can use whatever you want, however you want to describe it, so that you know in what order. So if I put number 4, that means, and then I use the numerical system, mean 1, 2, 3, 4, this would be the 4th book or lesson that will appear in my list. If I put number 1, it would be the first one. If I put number 5, 6, so on, of course, it will appear depending on what number I put here, because I'm using a numerical system. You could use an alphabetic system. You can even use, if you want to, words. So it doesn't really matter. It will organize it alphabetically or numerically, depending on how you want it to be structured. Then here, you can show a page. Show pages means when someone turns the page, you see the pages. So you know you're in page 1, 2, 3, 4, if you want to. The other thing here is show a date. This means that you can put them chronologically speaking according to a date. That means the order of your page. So you're structuring the inside of the book here. So this is, do I want to show it by pages? Do I want to show it by date? Or do I want to show it by both? We have that possibility to do both. Today, we're not going to do by dates. We're just going to leave it simple by pages. And then basically, I am done. The pages that I'm going to be adding later on will appear right here. So if I want to create something from scratch, all my pages are going to appear. But I can also borrow pages from other lessons that I may be interested in looking for. So maybe there is something about the Battle of the Plains of Abraham that already exists that I may want to be able to borrow some of the pages. So I have a lot of the pages here. So maybe I want to borrow one of the pages because I thought that was very interesting. So I say, well, let's take the first 2. This one, I'll take the other one that'll follow, not the British erect the base camp, because I want to show you the video and how to add a video, and that one already has one. So I added 2 pages, but I want to add more pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. Now I've got my book, and in my book, I'm in it right now, I have 2 pages that I've added. If I want to add a 3rd page, maybe I want to add something else. I want to add something about Wolf's attack on the Plains of Abraham. So I press here on new page. Now you have a lot of possibilities here. That's very interesting. So we're going to give it a title. So we'll call it we'll just call it Wolf's Attack, right? So from here we have Wolf's Attack, and that will be the title of the page that will appear once I publish it in my book. Here I can add a quiz. We'll do that a little later on. We'll come back to it, but we have that ability to do that. Here we can also add a map or a URL. That means a URL is basically a link to another website. So we could literally have a website that is linked to one of our pages. So this is all about the page. It's not just about the lesson, it's really the page. So you have that power. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do something interesting. We're going to add a URL, but we're going to embed our URL. So we're going to basically go and get a URL. And what I want to do is I want to get on Google Maps a place. This is at Google Maps. I already set it up. This is where Wolf died, right? So here you can see this is the pillar where Wolf is. And you know, they remember him dying here on the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to embed. So I'm going to go and get an embed, and I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to copy the link, and then I'm going to put it in, directly into my media. Now I need to do a little trick here. There's a little fancy thing I need to do if I want to. So I'm just going to remove some of the information that we don't need, because we're embedding information, but there's a lot of information that I don't need in this embed from my, and I hope I didn't erase too far, but let me find out. I'm going to go here, I'm going to remove that frame, and maybe I did. Yep, I erased too far. Just going to add a little more. Sorry. Let's go here. And we're going to do that again because I can't erase too far. I want to erase just until I hit this right here. And then we're going to go to the other end. And then we will have embedded our Google Street View. So our Google Street View will be embedded. We can also, if we want to, add basically a page. So maybe we can write this as extra information. So we'll just call it extra. And then we're just going to go and get information from the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. And we're going to get it from here. So I'm just going to copy that. And then I'm going to put it in here. You notice it's a lot of copying and pasting, because the information, the way this LMS works is it goes and gets the information where you find it on the internet. So you're able to bring it all together in one place. Instead of having to look for it later on, you will have it all prepared on that one specific page, and you can do that page after page after page. So it's a great way to be able to present information that's all over the internet, where students would have to take hours to try to find or figure out which one that is correct, or that is vetted, and that is, you know, proper according to the subject that you want to teach to them. So here, I'm just going to go and get a video from our basically MPO's YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you're ever on our YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. That'd be really great. I'm going to come here and copy the link, and then I'm going to put it into the YouTube channel here. So YouTube basically URL. Now I've got in here right now, I've got an embedded basically Google Maps. I have also a link to a website directly, you'll see it. And I also have a YouTube video that's already in my page. And it will all be structured for you. So you don't really have to worry too much where you want to put it or how you want to put it. Then you have here image alt text. No, now that's important because it permits to write in the back end what the image or the video that you're putting on. So if someone has an ADA, that means if there are people that are having issues seeing or not able to see on the screen, and they have an automatic reader, it will read that information. So if you write a text there about the image or the video, then it will explain to the student what's in that video or what's in that image. So we're just gonna, you know, this is the description of the image used, you know, for ADA. Now, the reference here, these references, those will be automatic buttons that will appear on your page. So if you want to use them, you could basically say, well, we got the information from here, so we would want to give them credit with a button that's on the page, and by just placing it, boom, the button will appear and it'll be written references. So that way, people, if they click on it, they will know exactly where you got the information from. You can also add the YouTube so that you can have your image, right? Because we put the image there, an image reference URL. So that way they know where that YouTube came from, what channel it came from. So you're always giving references to the people, exactly where you get that information. Now, here we're in the text box. This box is incredible. It has so many different possibilities. This is where you can become extremely creative, and you can put information in different formats in different ways. But before we do that, let's just save our page and take a look if all our links are working and if everything is good, because it's possible. Sometimes we can make mistakes. We can erase something. Even happens to me, the best of ones, even if I practice. Now you could see suddenly my page is full of things. I've got my direct link to my Google Street View. It's amazing. You can walk around. You can basically move around that Street View that I've given to the students access to. I can even go and look at it in a larger sense. And then you can see different things on the Battle of the Plains of Abraham, what it looks like today, right? We can actually see from here, when we go into the extra, we can see the page of the Canadian Encyclopedia page about the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. And that's what you can see clearly and easily. So all the information that I put into that page, you can automatically see how easy it was. I just basically copied and pasted the information, and the system did all of it, right? I didn't have to, have to fight with the information to figure out how it's going to appear. It does it for us, which is really neat. Here you've got the source and you've got the image source. Now, if I just click on those, I'll just basically bring me to the sources, but time is flying. So I just want to show you the rest of how to create things if you want to really do something that is be a little more customized. So I'm going to go back to the page where we were, right? And here is where you can customize. Let's say you don't want that image, right? You don't want that video to appear that big or that large. You want it smaller, and maybe you want some text beside it. So what you can do is you can insert it inside this box, and that way you're able to control it. So I can go into media. So I'm just going to copy my video, and I'm going to show you the difference. Oops, sorry. The video is here. So I'm going to copy the video, and then I'm going to insert it as a media, and then I'm going to put it right in, and I'm going to paste it. And then from here, I can decide the size. Maybe I want it 300 by 168. So I'm going to save it. And now I've got my video, and I'm going to center it, and I want to move it a little lower because I want to put some text here. And the text that I want to put is basically Wolf Attacks. And then we're just going to put Wolf Attacks Quebec. So Wolf Attacks Quebec. Now you notice the text is a little small. Maybe I want this a little bigger. So I can just go to Format, and I can pick the size of the text I want. So maybe I want it to have it on 24. Let's just say I want to even change the color of it. I can even change the color. So I can change the color of the text, and I want to put it in red. So I have a lot of different options I can work with from here, and I can change the font. So let's put it Arial Black. I mean, it gives me some possibilities to do what I would like to do. Maybe now underneath it, I want to add, remember here we have the image, right? Or basically the Google Street View, but this time I want to basically put it in my box instead, and I want to control it. So I want to see what it's going to look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into embed, right? So embed, and I want to copy the link. And then I just basically go back and I do the same thing, insert media, but this time I press on embed and I just paste it, and it should work. Boom, there it is. So I've got right underneath here, I've got it embedded, and I've got my video on top, and I've got Wolf Attacks. So I want to show you the difference by what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to remove the, just so you remember, right? You remember the big video and the corner we had embedded. I'm just going to change that. So I'm going to remove it for now so you can tell the difference. And then I'm going to remove my video from those boxes, and I'm going to save. And now we have it this way. So now you have your video here, and you have your basically visit, if you want to, your Google Street View located right underneath it. You can put text in between it. Now we could do this very differently too. We can structure with colors, we can put banners, we can put a whole bunch of different information that will make it even prettier or nicer. But now what we've done is we freed up this place here, right over here. That permits us to add maybe something else. Or we could always use this page to maybe put a game. So I'll give you an example here. If I go to Verbe avoir, right? This is one that I've created. It's a little simple, but it has a variety of different things. And now I'm going to go here. I have my video about the verbe avoir and how to use it, but I also have a game that I can play. So then we can play tic-tac-toe and find the right verbs. So it's integrated into my lesson. So I'll just give you an example, how it works, incorrect. So then the computer will, just give you a bit of an idea of how it works. Here we go, third person. So I got it correct. So there you go. So this is a game that we can add easily to our different styles. And there's other people that have created different styles. This is another style. This is from Je me souviens. They've produced some really interesting lessons this way. And you can also create other styles of lessons like the Canadian Museum of Nature. They've actually have a virtual tour of their museum. So you can basically be in the museum, and at the same time, if you'd like to, you can listen to a video while you're doing the tour. Let me see here, Fossil Gallery. I think they have their visit. There it is. And we can play it right now.
Welcome to the Canadian Museum of Nature. That's right, we got to scan in because the museum's closed.
So as
here we are.
So as you can see, right, you can have a tour of a museum or different places that you could be interested in visiting, and you can actually borrow these lessons or the pages and put them in your lesson. And then you can attach maybe something you would be working on, the dinosaurs. So you could take a page from the Canadian Museum of Nature that has this visit about maybe the T-Rex or any other dinosaurs that you're thinking of working on. And then you can link exercises or activities that you want to do. I've got one last minute and I want to show you quickly sorry about that, the quizzes. Now, when we come to quizzes, we go here. Let me just get into my own creations, and I'm going to go back to my lesson. And if I wanted to add a quiz, I would go here, edit, and then I would just press on new quiz. Whoops. And then from here, I can add a quiz. So I could just do battle, right? And then I would want to show the correct answers. And I can add multiple choices, text, or short text. But this is to give you a bit of an idea of how GHM Creator works. Hopefully it's helpful. It gives you a better perspective on how it works and what you could do with it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask right now.
Yes, thank you, Martin. That was very good. Do we have a little bit on the bookstore so that we could see our new functionalities in the bookstore? I believe there was a few things there we wanted to mention.
Absolutely. So in the bookstore now, we have what we call trending. Trending are basically the lessons that are the most popular presently right now by our users on GHM Academy. And you can also have the opportunity to like. If you want to, you can like different lessons. Maybe you like this one, maybe you like that one, so on, and they will appear at the top. You also have the ability to follow a specific channel. Maybe you want to follow the Nature Museum. So, oops, I was already following it, so I'll follow it. You just press on following it. Maybe you want to follow Black Biblio. You say, okay, I want to follow Black Biblio. So you follow it, and that means when you're following it, once there's a lesson that comes out, you will be aware of it and it will appear in the top for you so you have an idea of all the new lessons that are available. You will also, coming very, very soon, probably by Monday, sorry, you'll be able to see a new search engine. And this search engine, what it does, it literally searches in the description, and I'm going to give you an example of what it's going to look like. So this is how it works. So, and if I type in war, it gives me all the lessons that are related to war. And if I add another word, maybe Roman, right? And then it's going to show me war and Romans, right? So both of them, if they're both combined, and then maybe it's a course I'm looking for on that specifically. So this will give you the course and the grade and the enrollment and that specific one that you may be looking for. I can click on it and I go straight to that course. If I come back, my search is still available. So these are the new functionalities that have just appeared on GHM Academy.
Very good. Thank you very much, Martin. Okay, so now we can open it up to anyone else who has any other questions. If there's anything, if not, I just have a quick question on how much does GHM Creator cost?
Well, GHM Creator costs approximately, sorry, not approximately. we'll go into the share again and I'll show you where you can find it. By going on purchase, so you press on purchase and then you look for it. It's in the list of the different items that you can purchase.
We're not seeing your screen there. Mark.
Oh, sorry, you don't see my screen? Sorry about that. Let me just try that again. Here we go. Let's go here.
There we go.
You got it? Okay, perfect. So right here, you can see in the purchase, I'm just going to backtrack on that. So you press on the purchase button that's located at the top, and that's going to bring you into our store. So where you can purchase things. And right here, you can see GHM Creator license for 1 year. It's $10 per year. Now, what's important to understand is once you create something, you can share it with any one of your students or your classes. So you have that ability to do that. So for only $10 a year, you could literally create several lessons and share them with your students. And you could also purchase more licenses, but it's $10, and that's the ability to be able to create things on GHM Creator.
Okay, so that was my other question was, how do you share the lessons that you created? So you can share any lessons that you create as once you have the creator then, correct?
Yes, that is correct. If you've created a lesson, you can share it in your classrooms. So you just basically pick a classroom and then you would go into your content and you would add a lesson and then you would look, it's right here. This is the one I created. I basically select it and then I save it and then I can see it. And now it's shared with that specific classroom, classroom 201.
Perfect. That's great. Very good. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Martin. We appreciate you spending the time with us to give a great overview of GHM Creator. So thank you very much for attending our webinar, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar, hopefully in a month or two. So thank you very much for attending. Take care, everyone.
For more information about GHM Academy, go to ghmacademy.com. If you like this video, don't forget to press the button subscribe and also like. Thank you.